This is Comcast Local Edition. We all hear about problems people are having these days with their weight, especially children who are gaining more weight than they should, bad for their health, could bring on diabetes, all kinds of problems. Well, Luz Gomez is with us right now. She's a program manager for the Contra Costa Health Services. They're concerned about that too. Is it overblown, the problem that we're hearing about? We do see a lot of kids who are bigger, but is the problem itself overblown or not?
It's a really good question, and there has been some controversy lately about some facts and figures about how many people are actually dying from diabetes. But we really don't want to emphasize the numbers. We want to emphasize that the numbers are big. We have a lot of children who are overweight, and the numbers are getting worse. Unfortunately, the trend is not slowing down. It's actually continuing. And so the children who are overweight today are likely to be obese as adults, and we're just going to be facing very severe consequences in our health services.
Are they overweight in terms of America's standards?
They are. I mean, we're
You know what I'm saying? That maybe some parts of the world it's not a problem. Some places in the world people are starving at least. But I mean, there are different standards, that go along with that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that children today are definitely bigger than they used to be a generation ago.
Oh, they're physically larger. There's no question about that.
And that brings health consequences. As we well know, I mean, children who are overweight today are likely to develop chronic diseases later in adulthood, including heart disease and some cancers that are associated with it. So we really want to try to prevent this from becoming that problem. And that's what the Health Services Department is trying to do. We're putting a lot of effort into preventing childhood obesity.
Okay, let's talk about preventing it in the first place. Sedentary lifestyles. There are kids who are in sports who are not that way. Other kids who are not in sports tend to be more sedentary, whether it's video games or, fast food restaurants or whatever. Are you dealing with that kind of issue?
Yeah, we basically are coming out with recommendations for parents. One of the key recommendations would be eat breakfast with your kids, or eat breakfast. We find that children who do eat breakfast tend to be less overweight. Move with your kids if at all possible. So at least an hour of vigorous physical activity would really help. Eat your fruits and vegetables. That old message continues to be very true today. And television viewing, interestingly, is very much linked to obesity, and it's not just because of the sedentary activity, but also because of the advertising that takes place. And children are kind of programmed to eat all the wrong things while they're watching. So we recommend children under 2 to not watch television, and after the age of 2, no more than 2 hours a day.
I think that's an excellent recommendation. The thing about vigorous exercise, though, there aren't a lot of chances for kids these days. They don't play as many, just go out and play games as much as they used to. They tend not to be out running or playing tag on the street. That kind of thing has sort of disappeared and been replaced by the video games or by video and so forth. That's a social issue you have to deal with.
Exactly. So there's a couple of things that we're trying, a couple of messages. One's a program and one's a message. The message is that there's safety in numbers. So if we could just get parents to allow their children and their neighbors' children to go out and play, the parents are likely to feel safe and feel okay, and the children will be safer as well. The other one is the creation of programs. In Contra Costa County, we created a program called New Kids, Nutrition, Exercise, and Wellness, where we're involving the YMCA, the after-school programs, the Health Services Department, and we're all kind of converging on after-school programs in East County to get the kids moving and to give them those opportunities for physical activity that typically are not there. And there's no reason why this model could go, throughout the Bay Area.
Yeah, and you have to, of course, deal with the parents first, too, I assume. Is that right?
Yeah, so parent education is a very big component. That's a lot of what we do.
Okay, nice to have you, Liz. And
Thank you.
Thank you for telling us about it. Luz Gomez has been our guest. It's Comcast Local Edition. Thanks for joining us.